Okay, real quick, if Katie, give me 2 minutes. Katie joined January of last year. She hit Success Club January, February, March. She earned the call with Carl Deichler. She earned her free trip to Summit. In that year, hit Success Club every month. She earned her trip to Punta Cana. She won $100 from Carl because she had the most Success Club points in a weekend that he did a contest. All these things are prefaced by her activity, her daily routine. When Katie has, asks and I give an answer, it is about delivering in a short amount of time. She has a family. Her family comes first. She has told me that from day one. She was in corporate America and did the corporate thing. And today it's about family, her time well spent. And this is where I think most of us, unfortunately, stray from. We use time as an excuse. We use availability in our day as an excuse. And I think a lot of us stray from that power hour. So hopefully Katie will give us an understanding of how she literally goes from, minute 1 to 60 and in specific time and specific activities that get her to the results that she's looking for. So I'm really excited to hear, even though I know what she does, I hope she defines actually on paper how she does it and what she does. So I'm going to be quiet, and Katie, you're on. You're muted.
She's muted.
Sorry, I was.
No, why doesn't? Excuse me, Katie. Everybody, if you could just mute yourself. I don't know if Ash could do that. But Katie's got the floor for us.
I know that we would like to go through this, or you'd like me to go through this like it was a true way that I did the power hour, but I think it's very important for people to be able to stop and ask questions. So, I don't want to get too derailed. I don't like to do that, obviously. So maybe if there's something that I'm not explaining well, you can just put that in the chat. The first thing I'd like to say is, yeah, this Power Hour tracker sheet, it's not my favorite. I don't like the graphics. I don't even like the font it's in. But that's my MO. I'm not going to waste my time making something that somebody already made. That's here. There's one on Etsy that I love, and I just haven't got around to buying the $5, picture of it. I feel like that my $5 is well spent, that somebody else took the time to do the work for me. So the tracker, the thing that led me to the tracker, first of all, is when, just like everybody else, I'm sure, when I first was a coach, I just delved into the back office and things that people were saying. The tracker actually link is right there in the chats. If you scroll up in the chats, you'll see that it's above. It's the first one from Trisha to everybody. Just so if you can get that
again, because when I got on, it's not in there. So just post the link again. I can't see it.
You cannot see it?
I cannot see it. No, it's from whenever anybody gets on. That's the beginning of their chat. So I can't see it. So just somebody post it again. Copy the link.
I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, hold on.
Okay, so anyway, while Trisha's getting that up. So basically, I'm not really going to tell you anything that you probably haven't heard already. I just am a firm believer in not recreating the wheel, in not spending my time on trying to perfect something that somebody has already perfected. There's a million of these things out there. Just put in Power Hour Tracker, put in Power Hour Tracker Beachbody. You can get free ones. You can buy them on Etsy. Find yours and just use it. The main thing about these is that you use it. It doesn't help you if you have it, if you don't fill it in. There is also, along with the actual tracker, there's also, people have made these great pick monkey with how many minutes you should be spending on each of these categories. Also, maybe that's great in the beginning. You should definitely give yourself a time frame on each of the boxes to get going. But there's no need to recreate this stuff. It's already there. Find something and use it. So basically what I do, and on mine, I literally just write on mine some other extra things that this person who created, thank you, him or her very much, because I don't like the font. I do use it and love it. I always date it. I think that's super important. I always also put up in my corner, I put FB for Facebook and IG for Instagram, because I use those two things to move my business forward and to connect with people. The reason why I put those two things in there is I look directly at my Facebook number of friends and I write that next to it. And then I go to Instagram and I do the same thing. I look at my followers. I think that's very important to track that. It's going to tell you that as you were going through and adding people and talking to people and having conversations and asking people to like your like page or to friend you, is it working? Because if it was 5 Facebook friends today and 5 next week, you're doing something wrong. And that's the main reason for this power hour. If you're not reaching people and it's for whatever reason, something's wrong, and you've got to fix that first, or you're just not going to be, you're just talking to nobody. So there's literally 7 things that are really important on here. I think 9 and 10 is a given. If you're doing a power hour, then you better be drinking your shake and you better be doing your workout. So literally just check it off. Almost check one off and make a copy with it checked. Don't even waste your time, because you have to be a product of the product for this thing to work. It's part of it. So I literally date it, Facebook, Instagram, and then I check off my workout and my shake. I'm drinking my shake irregardless. If I do my power hour at 9 a.m., but I'm drinking my shake at 3, it's on my meal plan. Check it off. You're not going to pull this piece of paper out after it's done. The other thing is 9 times out of 10, because I'm an early bird, I do my workout early. I check in with my team and my challengers very early. So that's number 6 on this sheet. I get those pretty much by the time I come to the desk and pull this thing out. I'm checking that off as well. So I just really eliminated 3 things off the list that I'm not doing while I'm sitting at this desk. So sometimes when you see those breakdowns of somebody says their power hour, if you could get it to be an hour where you sit down and do it, fantastic. But mine's not like that. The majority of mine is done here at the desk with my phone and my computer in hand, but those 3 items are not. So I think the hardest thing for most people would be number 4, which is invite at least 2 new people. This power hour tracker spoke to me because it was only 2. It's not 3, it's not 5, it's not 10. I didn't think 2 was difficult. 2 was easy for me at first because I had a lot of friends and family. It was easy to talk to people that I knew. So that was nothing. These days and some other days, 2's even a reach. Like, I have to really think about it, and it's a cold invite. I don't have so many people from my warm market anymore that I can reach out to. So I do number 4 first. I rip off the Band-Aid. I give myself the 10 minutes that it's allotted. I give that box 10 minutes. I find 2 people. I send out the invite. And that invite doesn't include any of like my Facebook posts where I'm inviting like whole, friend groups and whatever. That's literally 2 cold invites every single day. And actually I should say I give myself 5 days for this, not 7. I think I look at this as my job. My kids are off on the weekend. I'm running all over the place. I do these things naturally. So I feel like not having to track them on Saturday and Sunday, it gives me a little bit of a break. I'm definitely on Instagram. I'm talking more to people about, that I've reached out to during the week. So really this thing I'm doing 5 days a week I'm sitting here, I'm filling it in, pen and paper 5 days. Some days it's 6 and 7, but I give myself 5, and that's it. It's got to be 5. That's not that's non-negotiable. So back to, I give myself 10 minutes, and then I invite two people to join me. I really don't invite anybody to, or I haven't started to invite anybody as a coach, because most of my customers, I sign up as coaches initially. So those people then turn into either discount coaches and they love it and they keep drinking the shake, or they're just fantastic challengers like the ones on here that are on my team, and they just become coaches and do what I do too. So they're really just inviting to my challenge group and to my to purchase the product and to join me in doing the workouts and drinking the shake. So number 4, I do that first. And Tricia, I know you said this was like a live power hour. I'm not quite sure. Did you want me to explain further how I do it? Do you want me to just go through how I use the paper, or?
I love the fact that you're teaching us this week. I love that you're instructing us what you use, how you do it. I can ask the crowd, do you want to take 5 minutes and invite, or is this something, I would like to see as a whole us do a live power hour together, maybe once a month, but I'm thinking, and maybe the crowd can raise their hands, do you want to hear how to first and with this week, and then maybe next month, or in your with your success partner or your mini teams, like, okay, all right. So let's get thank you, Katie. Let's get a how-to, and then let's get a date when we're gonna live power hour together. Is that a consensus? Okay, because I'm learning this too. I've seen her do this, and she tells me, but I love the fact that we're learning together. So keep going, Katie. Fabulous.
Okay, so I'm sure if you're on here, then you're very familiar with what somebody's invite would be. I know if you're in the Coach University right now, they're going over, the different coaches are going over what their invites look and sound like. Mine are different for every person. If I don't know the person, it's a little bit more business-like, but it's always very light and friendly. I'm always pretty much saying, say it's like summertime, I'll say something like, summer's coming, like, let's not like be squishing ourselves into our bathing suits again. I've got a group, it starts next week. Any interest in joining me? Like, always keep it light and keep it kind of funny. And that usually like gets someone to talk back to me instead of me like sending them all these facts and business and, all of that. It's always just, it's a very loose invite. It's almost like I think of it like I'm inviting them to have a conversation with me. So if you kind of think of it that way, like at the invite, it's not like you're saying, okay, I'm going to pick this person and I'm going to invite them to my challenge group. That's ultimately the goal, but you're going to say, I'm going to pick this person to have a conversation with. That kind of takes the fear out of it a little bit, I think, for some people. I'm really like strangely wired, I think, because once you put it on paper for me, like the fear goes away and it's more like, I got to check this stuff off and I got to move on. So just in talking to other people and trying to help them with this, I find if you could kind of convince yourself you're having a conversation with somebody, find 2 people, start talking, and that's the best way. And that's not to be confused with starting new conversations, okay? So that's number 3 would be starting new conversations. But so you find your 2 people, you write their names down, and you move on. Number 4, again, first one. I do that first. I get it out of the way, rip off the Band-Aid. If something blows up and you didn't get anything else done on this paper, to me, that's the most important. You've got your workout, you've talked to your people, and you put it in the ear of 2 new people. And that's really the minimal if something blows up in your day and you can't get to the rest of it. So then I would go with adding new friends, because I think that's quick and easy. That would be that's my second one. Always I go from, and basically I give, 10 minutes to the new people, 5 minutes to inviting the new friends, but you can just say, put 15 on both of them. It's not like strict like that. While you're scrolling through looking for your two people to invite, if you see something, they make those suggestions to you, well, just work the page that way. You're like, oh, so-and-so, they have 35 other mutual friends of mine. Open it up. Sounds good. Like them, write their name down. But definitely write their name down. Another reason why I like this paper is it allows you to see if they accepted your friend request or not. And again, that's going to be important to you to find out if you're reaching people. And also, are they looking at your page and going, oh my God, I'm not going to like her. Like, look at all these annoying Shakeology posts. This is like the last person I'm not going to have her like clogging up my feed with shakes, So it might be an indicator to you if people, don't want to approve your friend request. So then from there, I see, this is why I probably should create my own, but I don't. But this is how I move about the page. From there, I would say you're going to number 1 and invite your 5 new friends. And then right from there, I go to number 2 and create a list from yesterday's post. The list from yesterday's post means it's people that are not currently challengers or customers of yours, but you keep seeing them liking your stuff. So you know that there's something that's intriguing them. They might be just very nice and liking your stuff, and that's okay too. Or they may not know how to go about like asking you because they don't know what it is you do. They just like what they see. So they're commenting and liking on your stuff. So I write those people over there. They have a lot of spaces for that. I don't think that's so necessary. Write a few of them down. Some days if I look at this, some days I have one, and then other days, I have so many. It was just because one of my posts did very well. So that's another thing. It's gonna definitely reflect on what your feed looks like that day or the previous day. And that also should take you 5 minutes. So right now with those 3 things, we're at 20 minutes. Then I would go to follow-up conversations. And that would be look through your private messenger or however it is that you ask people to join you or start really that's just, I would think, not in your feed yet. You're not going to your feed and following up on conversations in your comments or questions that people have asked you. You really should try to stay out of your feed as much as you can until you get this work done. And what I mean by that is not stay out of it in the way that you're going to obviously invite, add people, and look through the conversation, but you have to be diligent in, okay, get myself back on track. I'm not looking at this. This is business. I need to add my friends. My 10 minutes is going to be up on this square. I've got to go to the next thing. Maybe you're not that kind of a person. That's just why they call this an hour and not a whole day tracker. But so if you want it to work like an hour, you have to kind of train yourself. It's almost like when you did the 21-day fix, maybe you didn't fill every single little cup and it didn't work so good for you, right? Well, you got to follow the rules. And so I'm not telling you anything that somebody else hasn't already said. I'm just following what someone told me on YouTube to do. So it seems to work. So those follow-up conversations, they're follow-ups to people that you've invited and you've started talking to already. Also at that time, go back to the people who, if you're finding that you don't have enough, that should be really 10 minutes of your time right there. So go back to the no's. Maybe somebody, not that said no last week or even last month, but go to the ones that were at, say now it's this week. Go back to the ones who said, oh, money's tight, it's Christmas. I'm not going to be able to do anything right now because I know myself. I'm just going to be eating and drinking, and I don't want to spend the money and waste it. Go back to those people if you haven't gone back already and say, I'm just here reminding you again, and invite them and talk to them as you would, as your invite your 2 new people, because inviting the 2 new are new, not follow-ups. So that number 5 is where I go back to people that I've already asked that said no. And they're there. I'm sure. I'm sure of it. And then my last one, the one that I leave for last there, is, well, first I guess I should say, I'll touch on personal development for a minute. I don't, that box is there. I think you should definitely be doing 10 to 15 minutes of personal development, and that is a minimum. I do everything from reading text to these days I'm addicted to Gary Vee and his Daily Vee and everything he does, because I'm addicted to him. So to me, that's time well spent, because he gets me pumped up, and I usually listen to a little bit of it before I do this, because it's kind of like I was an athlete, so it's kind of like a locker room, kind of get me pumped up and ready to do my power hour. But I count that. Daily Vee is anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. If you feel like you need to write it down because you're not doing personal development, by all means, write it down, put it in the space. I do it. I don't have an issue with it. I did it before Beachbody. I've always been a big fan of it. I think I'm a lifelong learner, and I think that's an important aspect of anybody's life. So that one, it's up to you whether you want to, I just can definitely check it off. I'm not going to waste my time writing down to my own self the book I read or the pages I did, because it's me. I don't need to answer to anyone else. I'm my own boss. And the other thing about that is the growth of your business is a direct reflection of your personal development. I'm going to just say that one more time. Your growth of your business is a direct reflection of your personal development. You have to be doing personal development. You just do. It's going to give you everything that you need. And if your coach sent you one and you don't love it, if you started one and it makes no sense to you, find somebody else. There's tons of people out there. You don't have to pay for it, because it's all over the internet. There's a ton of Beachbody coaches that you can call that your personal development. When I first became a coach, Trisha turned me on to, I always want to call him Darren Daly, but it's Darren Hardy. So that's great. That comes into, Darren's daily post comes into my inbox and my email all the time, and I use that. That counts too. So definitely, if you're not doing that, that's first and foremost. You gotta, in order for you to tackle everything that's on this page, you need the confidence and you need the fearlessness to do that, and you're going to get that from doing personal development. So then the last thing that I do is start new conversations, and that's 15 minutes. And I leave that for last, because that is the black hole of the page. That is the, you're going to go into your Facebook and you're going to scroll and you're going to look through and you're going to look on other people's posts that you are already friends with, that are already your challengers even. That's important. Stay connected to everybody. That's really it. It's like you're going in there and liking the happy birthday things, all of that kind of stuff matters to start new conversations. Now, I might add, for myself, I think when I was new, I definitely sat here and put the clock on for 60 minutes, and I went through each of those things with the minutes that it said. Like I just told it to you. I have my own. I probably should share my own too, Trish, that just has my pen all over it. I'll do that. I'm sorry. Because it does have the date on there, but I wrote on mine the actual minutes that it should be, and I also wrote on mine my Facebook little notes, and it's in pen. It's totally sloppy and whatnot, but it works for me. So, but again, I think that if you're new and you don't do a power hour, I think you should find one, print it out, and use it as it's intended, because it's just like anything else, like I was saying before. It's just like if you ever did the 21-day fix. It's like you're training your brain to do something new. Like you're new at this job. And if you're old at this job and you don't do this, then consider this a new skill that you almost have to go to training for. Like you have to train yourself how to do this if you want to move your business forward. And really the bonus of it is an hour. That's it. And you can do this in an hour. It's not to say that once you get all this done, you're hopefully going to have numerous conversations. Your 2 new people that you invited are going to start talking to you. Your follow-up people are going to start talking to you. You're going to be liking and commenting and wishing people a happy birthday. Like that's your business. And your new friends are going to be saying, yes, I'll accept your friend request. So then now you're over there in their feed, starting new conversations with them. Wow, so-and-so, I haven't seen you in so long. Great, we connected on Facebook. So this is a great paper. I think this is an excellent tool. And I use it 5 days a week, and it's helped to get me to where I am. I really found that, and I don't know if Trisha remembers, it was like somewhere in October or November, it was that this is my first year in Beachbody. So I was not prepared for like the whole, fitness world to come to a screeching halt, and something derailed me from doing my power hour, and my business tanked. And I was like, what was I thinking? Like, why did I think all of a sudden I had a better idea than somebody else, As soon as I picked it back up again, I had a fabulous December, and I've been going ever since. So I'm a firm believer in it. And I don't know. I hope that helps you. I don't know.
I'm going to ask the first question. So, Katie, and I'm sure many of you have this question. You have that sheet printed out for 5 days every week. You're old school, a physical piece of paper. Look.
Big old binder. I got a big old binder. I like to use Post-its. I always like to, if I'm getting like, if I'll go back to like, I always am looking for, like, if you said to me, whoever gets the next Success Club, like wins a tea or something like that, like I'm always like posting that. I'm like, I live out of my power hour, but then when it's done, it's done. I put it in the binder, I close it up, and I walk away. I'm not like pulling this out and using it all day. Okay.
So you literally print this thing out 5 days a week.
Yeah, just go ahead and print yourself. If you want to do 5, I usually print like 30 of them out, at a time, and stick them in my binder, and then I'm good.
Interesting.
That's
Love
it.
Love it.
And it's nice too, because then you can go back, like when you're going with those follow-up conversations, because you're writing notes on it. Like, for example, I'm looking at somebody right here that was like from October, just because I opened it, I'm like, I got to go back to her because I've talked to her before, and she said after the new year. So it's kind of helpful that people don't slip through the cracks. You can make little notes next to their names. Yeah. And then the other thing that you can do that's fantastic, that I take something like this Post-it, like, okay, so say she said, no, like I just gave you the scenario about the person at Christmas, she can't afford it. I would take a Post-it, because I love Post-its. I have so many pages already ready, because I do this all the time. And then I would take her and stick her somewhere in 30, pages deep. New. So I knew I don't have to flip back. She said to ask her, so I got to ask her, She told me to do that. So I do that as well.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And not rocket science. Literally, and I know you love the stars and the font. We got to make
I did not teach myself this. I didn't teach myself this. I YouTubed it. And somebody just, I liked listening to whoever was talking on the YouTube. That's how stuff works, right? On there telling me how to do it. So I said, okay.
Can you do us a favor? I'm looking at the sheet right now. Mm-hmm. Can you give us real quick what number one for you and like down the list, if you don't mind?
No worries. Okay, so I start right in the middle and I do number 4 first.
Okay.
And I would say you need to spend 10 minutes on that.
10 minutes. Okay.
And then from there, I would go to adding your 5 new friends, and I'd spend 5 minutes.
What number is that, Katie?
That's
1.
1. Okay.
And I would actually say, like I said to you earlier, that can be a combined 15 minutes. You're going to probably run across people that when you're looking for new people, you're going to be adding your new friends too.
All right, number 3 is what?
Number 3, I would go to, I think I go to either number 2. See, because I do it differently either time. I go 2 or 3. My only main thing is, like I said, number 4 has to be number 1. Inviting new people has to be number 1. For me, it does. Because that I feel like is the hardest task. And number 3, starting the new conversations, has to be the last one you do, because I call that the black hole.
Right. Okay.
You're like getting sucked into the vortex of social media.
So do you
So you
spend,
look up and you're like, what time is it?
do you only spend 5 minutes on number 2? Is that what you said earlier?
Spend about 5 minutes on number 2, yeah. I mean, this is, Christy, that's so, those are loose numbers. Sometimes, if you're done, move on. If you invited your 2 people and you were able to get in and get out of there in 2 minutes, move on. If you can do this paper in less than an hour, fantastic. You just, the starting of the conversations, that last thing, I mean, that's you're going to spend a lot of time there. You're going to spend a minimum 15 minutes if you can get yourself out of your social, out of your feed.
Okay.
Katie, then you're done. Like, you do this hour and then you're done?
Then I'm done. And remember, mine's not like, you can add those minutes up, take the personal development out of it, take the 9 and 10 out of it.
You don't check back like later on in the day if there's like messages, you don't follow up with those messages, or you wait to the next day?
No. That's what I was saying to you earlier. You're going to have, this hour is what's going to hopefully get you, that's starting all these conversations. I'll answer people. I have the luxury of answering people back, basically all day long. I'm home by myself.
Right. But this is like your meat. Okay.
This is it. Yeah, exactly. This is the backbone to it all. And then I feel like I've done what I needed to do to get things moving. You know what? You have to be out there. You have to put yourself out there, and you have to invite you have to put yourself out there and invite people in order for you to be able to like have all those conversations and ask and answer questions. There are many times though, inside of the day that I don't look at my Facebook, like just intentionally, because I think it's, sometimes there's nothing there and it's a waste of time. I don't like to waste time.
Okay. I don't know.
It's like a broken record, right?
It's great because I used to do it on Excel, and then I didn't have a sheet like this, and then I had a sheet like this, but I was getting into Teamsy, which I still do Teamsy, but I kind of like having Teamsy because it comes up with those new people that you don't have to search for. But I think I want pen and paper too. Might be a bit more work for me, but I'm okay with it.
I don't typically like pen and paper. I'm more like you. I want it to be digital, but this right here, for some reason, it
worked. It clicked.
So I wasn't going to go there.
Right. I like the pen and paper because you can flip back and forth. So you can go back.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking like, okay, where's my book from last year? It's in a box. So I kind of like everything in one spot. So I'm going to switch over again. Thanks, Katie.
I have a question, especially because I'm so new and there's so many people here that are not new. So this is kind of for everybody. But we're doing your list, and you have your follow-up questions and hold invites and things like that. So say I invited somebody beginning of last month and I didn't get a response period. It was just nothing. Okay. So I really think that they would be a good person to talk to about doing Coeur de Force, which I'm doing next month. How long do you wait, though, if they don't respond? Like, I've had some people say, you know, money's tight, it's Christmas, or I can't right now, the kids went back to school, or I'm paying for a lawyer. That's one I get a lot. Give me a month. Okay, so I wait a month, but whenever they just don't respond, how long do you wait whenever you know that they would be a great person for something? Like, how long do you wait?
I typically invite to my next challenge group, even if they didn't gave me zero, nothing back.
Okay, so it's not pushing or inappropriate. I guess I just don't want to be inappropriate or a pushy person and say, hey, you know, I really, and this is somebody I went to school with, which granted I'm still rather young, but we went to school together and I know she's very athletic and she would be a great person to do this. But I don't want to be like, hey, Bailey, you really need, huh?
Do you have her phone number because you're friends with her?
Yeah, our sons are right about the same age. I mean, they're really close. We literally, our birthdays are 2 days apart. She used to live across the street from me.
You know me, Christy. I would call her on the phone, be like, hey, girl, what's up? Why hide from my Facebook?
Right? But I just don't want to appear pushy, I guess. Like, I don't want to be like, you really need to do this, but I also don't want you to miss a great opportunity to.
Well, then you want to tell her the second part.
Okay.
You don't want to say, you really need to do this, even though you think she really needs to. You just want to tell her the second part. You want to tell her that, you know, you think it's a great opportunity. You think that she would have fun. There's a lot of, you know, your sister's in there with you. She may know your sister. And you guys are just having a good time. Like, because truly, you know, because you're in our challenge group, we're having a freaking good time in there. And that's the truth, you know? We're having fun. So if you have a gut feeling that you think she would fit inside there and she would have fun too, then I would call her up. Yeah, I like to call people.
Oh, I know. I talk to you every week, Kate. I talk to you 75 times a day.
You're sitting here because I called you.
This is true.
Everyone on this team, Christy was a lead. Christy is Katie's coach, and Christy was a Beachbody, you know, lead to Katie. And wouldn't you love, seriously, if you were Christy, to get Katie as your upline coach that got on the phone and truly cared about this girl?
I wish I had a recording, right? I was like, Christy from Kansas.
Yes, basically. I'm like out in the middle of Timbuktu. Everybody else is over here in New Jersey and stuff. I'm like, hey, this little Kansas girl, it's a small town, 1,200 people. I'm just over here.
This is why Katie is successful. It is completely genuine. That name, Christy, popped up on her feed like, oh, I got a customer. What should I do? I'm like, you know, and Katie took her heart and soul and passion and whatever and called Christy. So honestly, guys, when it's genuine, and Christy, this is for your answer, when it's genuine, when you take it off of you and your, you know, sales and numbers and make it be about that girl like Katie did for you, in my opinion, that's what Katie is. It will come. So don't disregard those leads if you get them. Christy is that girl.
I should say something about that.
I was just going to ask. I don't know if I missed that piece. Do you put following up with leads or reaching out to leads like within the Power Hour, or is it something separate that you do?
Yeah, that's right there. That's the follow-up conversations. That's the leads. That's the leads too. Those people though, I don't really even wait for those for my Power Hour, to tell you the truth. Like, if I see, and that's another like thing that I think about, like, you know, like, I guess there's a better saying than like ripping off the Band-Aid. I don't know what like, when I get a new customer through my leads and they put their phone number on there, I call them. Like, I text them, I email, and I call them, because wouldn't you have loved somebody to call you if you were like looking at the Beachbody site going like, wow, this looks like something I could do. I wonder what this is all about, you know? And then all of a sudden your phone rings and somebody's like, hey, I do Beachbody. And guess what? I'm your coach. What do you want to do? Want to do this? That's what I do.
And as somebody who came in as a lead, because I just did it because I saw it online. Like, I didn't sign up with anybody. I just saw it online, and I'm like, you know, I'm a little bit too bodacious right now, and I thought Country Heat would be awesome to do. So I signed up same day. It wasn't even 3 hours later, I got a text message from Katie. So having that, literally, one, it fueled my fire, and it gave me, I wasn't struggling because I had no idea what was happening. I mean, I can read the book and figure out things, but to have somebody, which poor Katie, I literally do blow up her phone all day long. I am asking questions and messaging and all types of things 75 times a day.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, I know, which makes me feel a little bit better. But as a lead and somebody who had just signed up, and you know, I got Katie, which thank the Lord for that, because I couldn't have asked for a better coach. But you know, that on my point of view, it was amazing. And it's literally changed how I view Beachbody and what I'm doing right now and all this stuff. So from my point of view, not from a coach's point of view, but from mine, if you get those leads, seriously, as soon as you can, reach out to that person, because Katie has literally saved my life more than once since I signed up. And that is the honest to goodness truth. So you never know what that person's going through. So if you can and you have the time, reach out to them immediately, because it mostly, if you're going to sign up, it's because you want to change your life, and it's scary doing it alone. So to have somebody that you can reach out to and talk to literally changes the whole game for you. So just my little point of view there.
I couldn't agree with you one bit more. Not at all. And you can blow my phone up all day. You know that.
And I do. So.
And I say to you, I mean, you know, I say to you just like I say to everybody else and challengers and everybody else, like, I started this because I wanted to like put it out there so that someone was going to hold me accountable. So everybody just, you know, you do for me as much as I do for you every day. So thank you for that. Definitely. But don't let those leads go away. I guess that's probably the moral of that. Like, I mean, really ask yourself right now, have you ever called somebody, you know? And if you haven't, go back there and look and see, because those people are not even cold invites. Like, those are people looking for information. Like, it's almost like, yikes, somebody gave you them. You're their coach. How are you not going to call them? You are their coach. You know, they just don't know it yet, maybe. And a lot of people you'll find, they don't even know they have a free coach. So really take the opportunity, you know. We have another challenger, which is elite. It gets late and I talk too much, and then now it won't make sense. We have another girl in our challenge group this month that is also a lead. So it's pretty cool. It's cool stuff. I say take advantage of it. You know what I didn't talk about on there, because I don't know why, because we must have got talking about something else, is planning the hooks and the new ideas. It's on the bottom. I think that's probably something that should be ongoing all the time, but I think it's very important to write that stuff down. And a lot of times, initially when I printed this thing out, it was 10 minutes that they wanted me to spend on that. That's really more about planning not only the hooks and the ideas, but your posts, what you're going to post, and things like that. I guess like I said, a lot of times that's repetitive for me, and probably some of you too. Like maybe some of you always on Wednesdays do a shake recipe. I would love to do that. It's always on my paper. I don't know why, but I never get around to it. There must be a reason for that. But that's a good box to focus on, to just make sure that you have some form of a plan of what you're going to put out there. Just don't wing it. I don't spend a lot of time. Somebody said somewhere, don't waste all your time on PicMonkey making these great pictures with all this text and all that stuff. Really, I think the only one that I really ever spend time putting text and stuff on and making sure that's I really spend a lot of time on my photos as far as editing my photos. I think good photos are important, but I really only do the text thing and the PicMonkey on my challenge group. My new challenge group's coming up, because I think to see my picture and to see repetitively 24/7 support, 21-day challenge group, those kind of things is important for people to keep seeing those each month. Then they'll be like, oh, she's having one of those challenge groups again. I wonder what that is, So I took that to heart when somebody said, don't waste a lot of your time. Like, I could have made you guys a ton of slides, right, tonight, but what would that really have gotten anybody? Like, I told you what I do, and you can go back and listen to the recording. I'll definitely share with you my own marked up one. You really have to know, pay attention to where you're spending your time and say to yourself, what's this going to bring me? Like, is this wasting my time? Is this, now look, if you love to sit there and make PicMonkey things and you're very artistic and you enjoy it, I say go for it. Like, that's fantastic. I think those things are beautiful, but I don't think it's a necessity is I guess what I was getting at. And I heard that somewhere along the line. So I thought, oh, fantastic. I love that, because I don't want to spend my time there. Yeah. So I guess new hooks and ideas would be, what's your next challenge group? What's that going to be? So start thinking about that. I know, Tricia, you do great stuff with like your hashtags. You're a big fan of that, wherever you picked that up along the way. So that would go in there. Like, you're going to say, what was that? Like what was that? Flossom? Used Flossom for a while. So I guess that would be something. That's a hook. You're gonna put Flossom in so many of your posts leading up to your challenge group. If you haven't read Gary Vaynerchuk's Jab, Jab, Right Hook, read it. Read it. You should not be a Beachbody. That should be required Beachbody reading. At least the one. Just go get the chapter on the platform that you use. That's it. Just that one.
What was that you said?
I'll send it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. That book is definite. And it's intentional posting to lead up to, just like any movie advertisement. You can't wait. You keep seeing the advertisements of a movie, and then it comes out. So that's exactly what that is.
Yeah. And again, like we said about time and personal development, just get it, go to your library and just read just read the Facebook one. And that's it. If you're a Facebook user and all you use is Facebook, just go get it and at least read that, or find out how Facebook works and what it is you should be doing. He does a great job at that. And it's quick and it's to the point, and you'll definitely see instant results.
My posting changed after I read that.
Right?
Yep.
And I'm kind of odd the way I post. Like, nowhere on here does it say post 3 to 5 times a day. And that was one of the other reasons, actually, that I like this, because I thought that was a lot. Like, I think that's a lot. I mean, I like to think to myself, if I could get 3 to 5 times over my Facebook, my Instagram, and now that beautiful thing that's your Instagram story, thank you very much. That makes things so much easier. Then that was enough for me. And I feel like it's working so far. So I don't beat myself up over that either. If you can't get 3 to 5 posts in, you just can't, I think it's better to not throw something up there, just to throw it up there, then it to me, it gets ugly.
Katie, I just want to say I use the same tracker you do, and
And you love it?
yes, I shared it with my Team Cup team, actually. My power hours were so chaotic and crazy, and like all I did was use Facebook Messenger. Really, that was my tracker, and that's a terrible tracker. So you get lost. Everything's all over the place. So this to me, like an hour, if I do set that hour, goes by so fast, and I can knock it out in way less than that, truthfully.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
totally-
answering them back that takes more time, but you know, it's worth it.
Yeah. You use this one consistently? You love the stars and the font?
I do the same thing you do. Like I have a binder, I print like 25, 30, and I do the same thing.
Oh, that's great.
Mine doesn't have the stars. If you like Google the tracker thing that was posted, mine was the first one. So it looks a little different, but it's the same material.
I want to see if I can shrink. Do I have?
No stars.
How many of you are willing to try this or are going to use this type of tracker? And Katie prefaced, find your own tracker. How many of you have now caught the bug to try this? Yeah, myself included. But I think it's consistent. I think Katie's hit it on the nose with the 21-day fix comparison. We tell people 21 days, you can do this. Set yourself up 21 days, follow the program exactly like it is. Here's the calendar, here's the containers, here's the book. Do the program and seek results. So I would love to see everyone print this out or find your own. And if you're a graphic girl or guy and could find us one that doesn't have fancy font that maybe
I'm gonna recreate it today.
I
had to read it 4 times where I'm like, where does it say 2 people? I had to really read it 4 times.
I know
Yes.
Ashley was on this, and I know
I'm afraid to click away, but I'll show you the one that I love that I should buy from Etsy.
well, share it with Ashley and she can make it, literally.
Just screenshot it to me.
Yeah.
Because since Katie's been using this, the first thing she says, I don't love this font. There's stars on it. I mean, but she's like, I don't know. She's like,
a 5-year-old made it.
Yeah. She's like, I don't
But it
know.
works.
Yeah. And look, okay, so let's call to action.
I'm gonna go through, Trish, and just before it gets too late, because it's 8:52, and then you can challenge everybody. I want to go through and just grab these questions real quick.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even see them. I apologize.
You know what I'm gonna do tomorrow? I'm in the. How do I start my cold invite? My cold invite. I'm gonna come back to that one, okay, Kel? And if you invite someone, they respond.
Sorry, I apologize.
They respond right away. If I invite someone, they respond right away. Do you wait until the next day? No way, Jose. As soon as someone starts talking to me, I start talking to them, and I say, "Do you want to call me? This is my phone number. Here you go." I always give somebody my phone number. Please. What? You're in your car? You can't text? Fantastic. Let's chat. I love to talk.
But doesn't that interrupt your power hour then?
Just what interrupt my power? If they ask me right there, shoot, stop the clock. You got to stop the clock. Somebody wants to come and join me, please. Yeah. I'll stop the clock and finish that. That doesn't always, people do. People start talking to you, but you know what, Kat? You can keep working. You know how if you're doing it on your computer, it's easier. If you're doing it on your phone, forget it, because you know how that works. You have to go to your messenger and then back to your thing. But I'm lucky enough to do it on my computer and my phone and sit at my desk. So you can work, and I'm sure you can kind of do both.
Katie, would you say that to somebody too, if they're wanting to do this or wanting to get into that habit of doing your power hour on your computer? Like sitting down at your computer and working?
No, because I tried to convince Trish's people one time when Trish was like, "Can you please put your power hour up there?" I do it at Thomas's basketball games. Tell you the truth, I do. Yeah. I just know how to do it, and I know if I'm going to a basketball tournament and Thomas has a game and then I'm off for an hour and then he has another game, I find myself a corner. I stick my earbuds in. I pull my paper out, because these are in a binder. I'll fold this thing up and stick it in my pocket and do it there,
Yeah.
Just a matter. You can do it on your phone.
Yeah.
Either way, phone, computer, whatever it is. I'd have your phone if you want to talk to somebody, though, if you want someone to call you or you to call them.
I get more distracted on my phone, but my power hour is way more efficient on my computer.
Well,
But-
that's what I was saying, like somebody brand new, like, okay, I heard this training, I'm new, I want to start. What do you think as you, now, so you already, it's easy to you, you come, you know what I mean? So as somebody brand new is coming into this, would you recommend to them, okay, for the first 21 days, 30 days, 60 days, get in the habit of doing it on your computer?
No, I wouldn't. I would get in the habit of doing it wherever you're comfortable, because if you're comfortable doing it on your phone in your bed with your thing on your bedside at night because you work all day and you'd rather be showered and on your kids in bed and that's it, then I would make sure that next to my bedside table I had one of these things in it with my pen. I'd plug my phone in and then I'd do it there.
Right.
I think do it where you're most comfortable. Hey, it's just, I love to reference everything to 21 Day Fix because I love Autumn and the 21 Day Fix. It's just like the 21 Day Fix. You could do it in your bedroom, your basement, out in your yard, on your deck. You just have to do it. Doesn't matter where, you just have to do it. Yeah,
An
so
example too,
wherever
actually,
you're comfortable.
the other day, I did that, Katie. I folded my paper. I took it with me. My mom had an
I
appointment.
like you, Heather.
I like you too. So, yeah, I took my paper, I folded it. My mom had an appointment. I'm like, I'm not going to sit here for an hour and do nothing. So
Right.
I brought it with me, and that time was perfect because I had my phone. I had in my mind, I am going to do this. I'm not going to get distracted. I don't have my computer, but I'm going to use my phone. So in those cases, it works. If you're just starting out, maybe you need the computer so that like texts don't disrupt you, or if someone's calling you, it doesn't disrupt you. But like once you get in the groove, you can kind of ignore that and then just push through.
And I'd hate to say that you'd have to do it by computer because some people might be coming in as a coach without one. So we all have a phone, and if you're lucky enough to have a computer, use your computer if that's what you like. And otherwise, no, you can do it right from your phone. Do I do this 7 days a week? I definitely do it 5. I do it 5 for sure. I feel like Facebook is really chatty over the weekends. So I'm doing it anyway, naturally. In the beginning, did I do it 7 days? Most definitely. I did it all the time. But I feel like now, a year later, I know what I have to do. I could probably flip the paper over and just like write what was supposed to be on there, you know? Bill, somebody asked me something about a photo. Trisha, you're not crying anymore, right?
I cried.
You're good. You're good. You got that out of the way.
Hearing Christy say what she did, that to me, I'm fueled by that.
Photos? Did somebody say something? I scrolled right by it. Oh, what are some of your most successful posts? It's probably like all of you. Post about my kids get a lot of traction. That just does. People love that. People love when I talk about Emily and Thomas. I mean, I don't know. I think anything that has me in it, you know, anything that my food posts, they get a lot of, those are successful. Just pictures of my food, and pictures of myself are good. I think it always should be, you know, we've heard all that too, you know, it shouldn't be stock. It should be real stuff. It should be you. It should be real stuff. I mean, shoot, we had a photo contest in our challenge group to kick off this one. We had one. And Christy, you had a post, and there was like well over, 140 some odd people or something like it within 24 hours, because it was a timed post. Yeah, I like to do that too. This is so total side note, but I might as well share it with you because I think it's super fun for your challengers, and I also think it's good for your Facebook feed, because basically what's going to happen is you're going to ask any of your challengers if they want to be in a contest. It's going to last 24 hours, and you're going to tell them to do something like in Facebook. And we use the lay out your workout clothes because we felt like, you know, that's not like throw yourself out in the public like with a selfie of your muscles, you know, or some silliness. So lay out your clothes and tag your coach and put it on your Facebook page. And I thought that was fantastic. I got two leads off of that, thanks to Christy. Christy got numerous things. She got 140 some odd likes on my end. I got double that, so that's a good one. That's super fun. That was the best one so far, Hina, this week. Yeah, and we love it, and I love it. I don't know. Some of my challengers are on here, so it's fun. And then Christy gets some Shakeology, and she wins. So that's cool too.
I was just going to ask that. What would you give away?
I think that was the packets of the Shakeology we gave away.
Yep. It was a 3 sample pack of Shakeology.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah. And that's a good way to kick off the group, you know?
And let me tell you, as an observer on Katie's, I think it was Sunday night, I'm not 100%, but
Yeah.
I'm scrolling Facebook and I see these clothes with Katie tag, cool workout clothes, sneakers, the tanks, the shorts, one after the other. And it's clicking and clicking. I'm like, I don't know the people. And I'm like, this must be all Katie's challengers. It stopped me, you know, a veteran challenge group runner and Facebook guru or whatever. And I'm like, I called her. I'm like, okay, what's the deal? I'm like, what is this?
I think I saw Julie's.
I
saw Julie's first, and then after Julie's,
but there was lots of people we didn't know, right, Hina? And I was like, oh my God,
I figured it, and then I was like, oh, I see what they're doing, smart girls.
And it was creative and different, and they didn't have to put their face. So well done.
Well, they didn't have to put their face, you know? That's nice. And you never know. You know what's another bonus to that? I'm just thinking about it right now. Some people are coaches, but some people are discount, and some people are just challengers. Hey, they're just throwing it out there to the world that they're working out tomorrow. I mean, that's fantastic, right?
And see, actually, off of that, because I did have almost 150 people in 24 hours, my personal weight loss page, I ended up getting 12 new likes and 2 people. So I actually took a picture in my clothes. I was like, hey, I've lost 15 pounds this past month, and can I get some likes? And I kind of twisted it to work for me, but it worked.
Well, Christy from Kansas, you were Jersey enough to say, can I get some likes?
I was, too. I was like, listen, my coach is doing a challenge group. The most likes wins. Can I get some likes, please? And I did. I got my likes in there.
Oh, it's 9:03.
Yeah, Katie, don't mess around.
No, because I don't like to waste anybody's time. I don't want to, people have kids, tuck them in. It's a snow day. Who knows what's happening in your world?
I love it. I know I can get a group thank you on this one. Excellent. Something new, something we haven't heard before. If you guys feel it, hear it, it is genuine. What she taught you is truly no fluff. It is genuinely here to help others and live her best life. So thank you so much, Katie. Amazing call, amazing information. I hope we all can, print it and track it and, come up at, and I see success. I hope I've seen it. I witnessed Katie's success with doing really a basic, paper and pen check off. So I challenge you all to try it. I will come up with a date and we will come back and see maybe just a follow-up or maybe, a once a month power hour together and we can all just rally with each other. So I won't waste any more of everyone's time, but
it does work. Yeah, back in the day. Hello. Stop, honey. Back in the day, I used to use a notebook, pen and paper, and I actually wrote down all of my friends on my friends list.
Yeah.
Wrote it. And then I would make little checks next to like people that I sent a message to. And then if they responded, then I would put a little note. So I never did it in a structured manner, but I feel like this is way more helpful because you're more focused and intentional in the time. But it works because that's when my business was booming, was when I was pen to paper. Trying to do it on the computer, like
It's
it really
momentum.
doesn't work.
Don't you feel like, Maureen, it's momentum is what it is. You know, and you know, I don't even know, somebody said, Jim Rohn or somebody, like, he always like referenced like an apple a day. Like, you know, the saying is an apple a day keeps the doctor away, not 7. So it's
Right.
not, don't think that one day a week you can do what you were supposed to be doing every single day. It doesn't
Well,
work.
and especially in this business, it's all about compounding. Like the little thing you do
Right.
makes the biggest difference. Even like a pilot, if they're off 1 degree, you're going to be in the wrong place. It's just,
Right.
and that's the thing. If you just, the 4 vital behaviors, you stick to the basics consistently over time. You have a strong foundation. You know, you have people to reach out to. You have people that are in your challenge groups. You have people that want to be coaches. It's like that continuation of that cycle that, you know what I mean? You're not just like killing yourself to fill those spots. You know what I mean? It's exactly what everyone needs to be focused on to be here long term. So I'm super thankful that you did this, and I would love to do, like, actually go through it, like set a timer and be like, okay, 5 minutes. Okay, everybody go do your invites. Ding, got them done, ding. I think that would just build momentum with us as creating that together. And then, you know, say, you know, share an invite that worked for you, or somebody message back, just kind of like create that momentum. Like you said, I think I would love to do it once a month, and, you know, the more people we can get on this, the better.
Great.
So, yeah, awesome. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
I love it. I love sharing.
Thank you.
I'm a big
Welcome up
sharer.
upstate. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night.